So hello everyone, here's Dania, one of your hosts for today, and we're starting with a few reminders regarding the housekeeping. First of all, this session is being recorded and it will go on YouTube and Discord. So if you don't want to be seen, you can just close your camera, stop the video, and it's absolutely fine if you only have your screen name up. If you want to ask any questions, you can either write into the chat, we will be monitoring this, or you will be able to raise your hand and speak up. This is a very small class, so don't feel shy. You can just talk anytime you want to. But to reduce background noises, stay muted until you're called to speak, so that it's easier to follow the class. And if your question isn't related to what we're working on at the moment, we may circle back to this later. And with that being said, I'm handing over to Manon, who will start off with today's session.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Dalia. So hello, everyone. My name is Manon Doucet. I write in English and in French. I dabble in other language too. I translate all my books. They are on Amazon, easily to find under Manon Doucet. And I'm using Sudowrite for over 3 years and teaching and everything else, which I'm having a lot of fun. I'm doing that every day, so it's not something new. With my my other host there, which is Dalia, which dabble inside the German. I know you speak a bit Japanese and may be able to write Japanese too, Dalia?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Sotodake.
And English. So you're in a good place to learn about how to use and manipulate Sudowrite inside your language. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if I can find the right one. All right. I should have been in my office. I would have been easier. Okay. So first, we have one person with us which listen in. I'm not sure how deep you are inside Sudowrite. Are you new to Sudowrite, or did you dabble in Sudowrite and write with it? You're new.
New to Sudowrite.
Okay. So do you understand this window that I'm showing right now, the first window of Sudowrite? Oh, nice.
Oh.
So what I'd like to know if it's, do I have to go around?
Okay.
Okay, you were at the beginner webinar too, so you know everything on the screen right now, so we can go deeper. Perfect. All right, I'm going to close the chat, Dalia, and I'm giving you this part.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep an eye on it.
I did. So this is basically the event for the week. So tomorrow is going to be the French one. And on Sunday, I'm doing the custom outline. On Wednesday, I do the nonfiction writing based on books I have on with another author on Amazon. And Jeff is on this class, so Jeff knows how I work with the nonfiction, and we end up with a book on day 2. We have we wrote 4 chapters. The last one, Jeff.
Yes, and that book was fantastic.
Yeah, Jeff.
I was really impressed with the way that worked out.
Yeah. So when you are in the class with me at the end of the class, all the way to the end, you get a copy of the book. So Jeff was there and he has a copy of the book. Okay. Let's get on this. So I shared this part here with you guys. So we're going to work on character. We have that idea that when we write, we put a lot of information in the genre, we put a lot of information in the style box. But any of you figure out that when you write different language, you end up with different results? That was a question. So if there's an answer in the chat, you have to let me know, or unmute and say yes or no.
There's no answer in the chat.
Okay. So there is a difference.
Not me was the answer in the chat.
Okay. There is a difference in the language. So if I write a story in English and I get it rewritten in French, it's not going to be the same. The AI realized at some point that if you write a story in Quebec, Canada, in French, it's going to be different than if I write that story in Paris. Same thing with character. So I'm going to give you an example here. We're going to create a character out of nothing. So we're just going to say basically here in a small prompt in English to create a short character sketch, 120 to 150 words of a woman who guards a secret, sorry, library, I'm losing my voice, that only appear at dawn. So here I got this prompt in every language that I asked for 5 languages: French, Spanish, German, Italian, and Portuguese, and all in your language. So if you want, you can go and play inside Sudowrite with it. But here's the result. We have our English prompt, which basically I took the prompt and I went inside chat. Now, it's not going to give me the history of the chat, but I did put that prompt here, create a short character sketch, just like this. And each time I did ask, I create a new chat. So when we say we create a new chat, instead of continuing the chat conversation, I just went on the plus. So I guess if I do this one, it will show me, there you go. So I don't have to create again. So if you go in that little timing or little clock, you should be able to see your chat. So let's see. Create a character sketch. As you can see, I put the question. This is the answer of Sheila, the enigmatic guardian of the secret library. Stand at the threshold each dawn, her silhouette framed by the first light of day, with silver streak hair cascading down her back, and eyes that shimmer like old tomes. She embodies wisdom and mystery. Clad in flowing emerald cloak, she seems to merge with the ancient trees surrounding the library, their leaves whispering secret only she can understand. Sheila has spent centuries tending to the library's treasures, a place where forgotten stories wait to be discovered. Her voice is melodic, blend of authority and warmth, guiding those brave enough to seek knowledge within. Each dawn, she performs a silent ritual, unlocking the library's door with a key that appears only in moments of pure intention. Though she appears solitary, her heart beats with the countless narrative she prospects, a silent protector of dreams and history. So this is the visualize of this. So the result of the question in chat give me this nice description of her. And what I did is I highlight it as so. You go in the More tool and you click on Visualize. And the Visualize in the English version give me this, which I like pretty much. It's a very nice picture, the key, the trees, and all that. Okay? Now, let's get to the French version. Exactly the same thing in French. I took the same sentence, translated in French. He gave me a different version for the French language. Again, I did the highlight. And this is the French version of that woman. Do you see a bit the difference between the English and the French? Same prompt, but it changed. There's something different about the woman. There's some softness, and I'm not sure how to describe that. It's kind of soft, and it's French. Let's put it that way. It's French.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit more enigmatic.
Mm-hmm.
It feels the way she's looking, and the whole atmosphere is different.
Exactly.
But she also has silver hair.
Mhm.
But maybe
Yeah,
that's
there-
just people in the
there's-
library have all silver hair.
Over here.
They're similar in some aspects of their appearance, but in the English version, she's shown opening the library, and there in the French version, she's shown actually
In the library.
in the
Mhm.
library, ready to help dispense knowledge to those that seek. I
Exactly.
like it. Like it.
Next language with exactly the same one in Spanish. The name of the person changed. Now let's see the appearance of this one.
Yeah, well, silver hair, but she looks definitely younger and a bit more. How to describe this?
It's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a different feel than the other two.
Exactly. Which one I have here? That. That's the one here, yeah. So that one is in Spanish. Again, the same question at the start to create, and then put it in the chat, which also is free. Let's see if we how much credit I use, because normally we have that question. So all my visualize cost me 50. The chat, oh, we can go up and down. They finally did that. Look at that.
Mm,
So
nice.
2,500 for the visualize, and the chat is 0. So it's not bad. I'm very excited because before we could not move this up and down for the recent activity. It's a good thing to show. All right, next language. German.
Oh. Oh my goodness, Elara.
Mhm.
This is one of the names that come up again and again and again.
In German.
And she looks a little bit more gothic with the eyeliner, I think.
Yeah, she does. And now she's inside with a book and a nice background. Her eyes are definitely catching up. But exactly the same prompt, but it went with the language and the, yes?
Like one thing I'm catching is that it's mentioning, oh, now I'm have to look up the English word because it's escaping me, but it's something very cliche German about her, like being, like, I think responsibility.
Okay.
Let me look this up. A sense of duty. Yeah, I think this is because I think it's a bit of a cliche for Germans that we're very dutiful and stern people. So
Oh, I like that. So very, very different. Same person, same prompt, but image and description goes with the language and the country, I would say. Next one would be Italian. So if someone can read Italian, let me know. But she's totally not silver hair. But we know Italian, we don't see a lot of blonde in the Italian people, do we?
it was
No,
yes,
that's rare.
pretty rare.
Yeah. So here another example of language and location of where that language is. pretty drastic for the change between the language. So in our first language, they'll actually have very light hair as the man is, but this one here, Italian, sorry, it's like that. And the last one, the Portuguese, is that Portuguese twice? No, the other one is Italian. So in Portuguese, I didn't do the visualize. So let's do the visualize together. So we did the question in the chat. That's the result. And I'm going to ask for the visualize. Oh. Any question during we wait for the visualize?
Chat is clear so far.
So this is very nice to work with. And the day they're going to, that's not bad. Sorry, I'm going to insert this. And this is our Portuguese one. That's kind of cute.
Mm.
It's almost like it's the exact same woman, but how she appears is based on who is coming to visit the library.
Yeah. So you can think that once we get character here with the image, that would be fun to see the difference like this and be able to bring our picture inside character and build up everything in here in Sudowrite. I'm very looking forward to that. What time is it now? I still have a bit of time. Yeah, okay. So this is the playful things about language and building your character. You can do it in many different ways, but I choose this one. Next, playing with character again and our character itself. I put this one here in our document, one more step. The one more step is we're going to play with first draft. I'm going to go get my English version here. So to copy and paste this in first draft for every language and see the difference in first draft. And this one, I didn't have time to do it. I was building up the class and says, okay, let's have some fun. I'm going to copy this version in English. We'll go back in Sudowrite. And just in case you don't know, first draft only work when you create a blank document. So when it's blank, you have first draft here. If it's not here in your toolkit, go down inside the more tools and you should find it somewhere in here. And you can reorder your menu and bring it up if you want. So it's not too hard to do. So first draft, you click on it, and that gives you this image here. So we're going to pass our information in here. Now we should get our character at the same time. So let's go get our English lady. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it on top. Make a bit of space. And one thing which I hope one day they will fix, as soon as you put enter inside this box, is going to go and write. So do not put enter, just pass the information in and make some space, or get everything on the side inside another document and bring your information in one shot, or write it down the way you want. Just do not do enter, because if not, it's going to go and write. So let's see what it's going to give us here. Hopefully it's going to go and write. There we go. We have a second character here, Sheila. Oh, it's Sheila. So our English character name was Sheila. Everyone can, this one is Aurora, Aurelia. And I'm sorry, I was supposed to get these done before the class start, but I didn't have enough time to create everything before the class start. And first draft, when you give it something nice to chew on, it can write you a very nice story or a very big synopsis, which now is at 4,000 words. So you can take the first draft, fix it, and bring it inside your synopsis and start a story. A very good story with this. Now is the waiting time or the waiting game. And I think as soon as I get out of this, it stopped writing. So anything that question during this thing is working?
So far, chat's still clear.
Okay.
But feel free to drop everything you want to know into the chat.
Yeah. That looks a very interesting story. Is anyone reading that as it goes?
Yes,
What do you think?
I like it. I think this is a very good start to an entire story.
Yeah, first draft can very surprise us when it goes. And lately we have a lot of words going on in first draft.
Yeah, I haven't used it in a while, and I'm surprised how long it's already writing. Because the last time I think I used it stopped around 1,500 or something like that.
Yeah, it was very short. And now it's very very good at
now you can really use this for a first draft of a short story or a chapter.
Yep. I love first draft when you write a small story for children or a very short story for an article or something. It gives you some very good idea, and if you know how to prompt it, it'll stay in what you're looking for. So we have a 3,538 word story.
And did it just say it was free?
Is it?
Can you just, I mean, it just popped up with a 0, which, oh no, so it just lied on the pop-up.
Yeah, but it's not very expensive. It's almost half of Visualize.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all for that much output. Yeah, that's really good. I would personally take this first draft output and use it as the first chapter, or maybe have expand it further into a full short story. But yeah, that did an amazing job.
Try to remember the language that Dutch and German is very similar, right?
Well,
no?
I would say so. If I listen to Dutch or if I read Dutch, then I can somehow puzzle together what it's saying. But I'm not sure if a Dutch person would agree with that.
Okay. I will try this in German right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the information down here, and I'm going to pick up our lady and our domain. I'm going to create a new blank. And during Dahlia is going to do her half of the class, I will put all those links inside the document. So you have, oh, that's not what I want to do. Ctrl-Z. Is it? Yeah, okay. Again, blank, first draft, pass everything in here. Let's see if it's going to give us German.
Fingers crossed.
Finger crossed, because sometimes we have to write everything in German. Let's see what it's going to do. The AIs get better and better all the time. So every month we teach and oh,
It's German.
German. Now it's for you to say if it's good, my dear.
It's not bad. I mean, the language sounds a little bit cliched, like AI writing, but it's seems like a decent story that's coming out. Yeah.
Something you can write or you can use and get better and go inside. How would you do the rewrite? Or something inside the first draft to say avoid cliche?
I'm not working enough with first draft to know what would be the best prompt for, given it would give us less cliche, but I would likely use, I would use
there is a question about being able to use this to translate chapters in Sudowrite. I don't have the experience, so I can't answer that.
The translation, I never tried inside first draft. I use translation inside my story Bible, and I will show you when it finished the German stories.
Yeah, and when I want to use Sudowrite for translation, I usually use either rewrite or quick edit. That's also what I would be using for, like editing.
Because right now we have this part here of the maximum words. So the rewrite would be based on this, Dahlia?
Oh, I'm not sure what the new limit for rewrite was. I think it's somewhere around 6,000 now. Or 2,000.
Okay, we'll see when.
But at least it's big enough for using it to rewrite a whole chapter. Okay. Oh, well, it depends on how long your chapters are. But for my chapters, I can just use
rewrite.
I also love to use the My Voice stylizer function, but that's now on the back burner and not available for new users. So sadly, I cannot. I mean, it's still great, but even if I recommend it, none of you can use it. So there's sadly no point. But I hope that they will return to focus on My Voice and bring it out of retirement so that new users will also be able to train models and use it to rewrite stuff in your style, because that's what it's essentially able to do. And that works really well for translation.
Good. We'll try to see if we can translate from German to English. Should be almost done. I think we have more words in German that we had in English. There we go. So let's.
No, actually a little less. We've got 3,100 here.
German is a little large.
Yeah, okay. Good catch. All right, rewrite. So rewrite, we have to do it in a document or inside your, we call that the prose window. How we call this window? The prose window.
The edit window.
The edit window.
I call it the editor. I just say editor like in the Word editor. No idea if there's an official name for it.
So rewrite, because I don't see it here.
Yeah, they moved it out of the selection menu.
Let's see if we can do the rewrite. So rewrite, highlight the whole German item here. We'll go in customize. And what would you write?
Simply translate to English or whatever language.
I did ask a lot of words. My bad, I should have put less words. But we'll see, because we highlight 3,173 words. See if it's going to start translating or crash and say it's too many words.
There, the sky was still heavy with the darkness of night as Elara made her way through the ancient hallways. But it looks good.
It does. That's a nice little synopsis right there. How many words we have? You didn't translate all of them. I don't think so. Do you think?
It doesn't, well, it's possible that it made it shorter, since English tends to be shorter on average than a German sentence, since it's just wordier. In German, we have longer sentences, and English is a bit more concise in comparison. But it really looks like it may have made it shorter in some sections.
All right, if there is no question, that's what I had to show you today on playing with character and playing between the two languages. So the fact here that we have English and German, and if someone can read both and see the difference between the two, that the English version has a different way of describing the library, the character, everything around it, when the German will write more like it's supposed to be in Germany or something. So that would be nice to find out if that's what's happening here, to show the difference between the language, which is important. When I say to someone says, just don't go, just translate your book. Make sure it translates in the proper language, in the proper setting. So it's not just word for words. On that, I'm going to give the screen to Dalia. And I'm going to put
I'm going
in the document.
Yeah, I'm going ahead and yeah, here we go. What I wanted to show is a little bit more basic, since Manon is the mad scientist of us two, and I'm usually more laying the groundwork. And I wanted to start by showing you all how the story Bible is best set up if you are writing in a non-English language. And first of all, you find the story Bible under your editor window here in the middle, in case you haven't worked with Sudowrite yet. And the most important thing that you have to keep in mind is that you put this little write all content in German or whatever language you're writing in your brain dump box, your genre, style. And once you have a synopsis generated, it's also the best to put it in there as well. The main reason it has to go into different boxes is that when you're generating, for example, characters, it only looks at the synopsis. So it doesn't know that you want something in German if you have this information only in the style box. Well, in my opinion, the style box is the natural place where you would set a language. But since style only affects your scenes and your draft and the output from the right button, it wouldn't be sufficient to only put this information in your style box. And to be on the safe side, I always have it in brain dump, genre, style, and synopsis. And if you have any question about the Story Bible, feel free to drop this in the chat, since the Story Bible is like it's the heart of your project, essentially, with all the information that you will need for your project. And it's also very big, and there's a lot that you could talk about with this. Something that I like to do for my Story Bible is I start with the concept in brain dump. And for genre and style, I head over to the chat and ask the chat, what's the best genre for my concept? Like in this case, it's a mystery thriller with psychological elements. And you can ask in chat in English, but of course you can also do this in your language. And since I think none of you write in German, I will just drop the English version of my prompts into the chat. But essentially, for genre, I'm asking for genre, subgenre, tropes, and themes. And then for the style, there's the chat. And for style, I would be asking for like a style description focusing on the tone, pacing, and the general flow of the language. And to get the German version, I simply ask chat to translate it to German. And that way you get a description that's very much centered on the story you're actually writing. But of course, if you have already like a text written, there's also a neat feature in the style box that changed it, so I have to make sure that I find where this box is. Yes, there's this match my style, which is also great to have to put in some text that you've written that then will be analyzed by the AI, and it will give you a style description of the way you are already writing, so that it gets closer to your existing writing style. Now, yeah, it's still there.
Dahlia, quick question. In the match my style, if you're then pasting that in the preferred language to write in, that's also going to help influence the AI to make sure that it is giving you the correct language output, right?
Yes, it should be. I haven't tried this in a while, but it should analyze this in a way that it gives you this in the right language. But I would still make sure to add in that you want everything in your language in the style box itself, if it's not in the style box that was generated for you. Since, I mean, the AI, as Manon talked about, is getting better at recognizing languages by itself. But since there is background prompting in English, it's still possible that it gets confused on what language it should generate for you. So the safest bet is to just put this wherever suitable to put this little magical prompt.
Gently beat the AI over the head with it.
Yes, just very, very persistent. In the past, God, that's over a year now, I think, we had like a single box for characters, outline, and we didn't even have world building. And in that case, I would also put this information in the characters and the world building. But now we have individual cards for every character and also individual cards for, let's jump down here, for our outline. And I just don't put it into every box, since once you generate something based from your outline, it will be looking at, I have too many characters. It will be looking at your style box anyway. So it knows that it should be writing in your language. Okay. Any further questions so far?
Nothing else to
proceed.
add.
Awesome. So something that's cool about characters, if you haven't looked at it yet, there's under this drop-down menu, you can find customized traits. And here you can change the default traits for your protagonist and for other character types, like antagonist, supporting character, minor character, or love interest. You can also add other character types if they're suiting for your story. Manon, you raised your hand.
Yeah, can you show us your agent, AI agent? What's the...
Oh, that isn't anything special. This is just for the project I had in my last class.
Okay.
Because that was like a story about, what was it? Like there was this company that has like AI agents and chats that are used for people who grieve their loved ones, and therefore I had an AI agent as a character. So it's nothing meta in this case.
Yeah, that's nice. So what's the
But in that way, you can really make this very individual for your project.
Yeah. What would be the answer to the underlying agent model, your last one?
Yeah, that was just something where I asked it if it can come up with something, because I didn't know what else to ask for an AI agent. So
okay.
It was a very interesting story, Manon. It was the loved one had been killed, and the AI was giving answers that only the killer would have known. I really would love to read that entire story, Dahlia, because that was a very gripping premise.
Super.
Yeah, at one point I may write it on, not because one downside working with AI is that there are so many good ideas and still too little time to write them all. But yeah, but this is like, it's great because you can individualize this for your project. Like I had another one that's like, I think it was called 12 Ghosts of Christmas Past or something, or matchmaking ghosts. And then you could just make a card individual for what's useful for this character type. And what's also nice is you can translate everything into your language and have it for your language. That way,
the answer is in your language.
Yeah, the answer is in your language. And it's also, depending on what your language is, there may be, I can't think of a good example on the top of my head, but I know from studying Japanese that there are sometimes words for emotions that are different in different languages. And that way it may help to like get the AI to answer in a specific way that's closer to your culture than using something in English, if there are bigger differences in how stuff is perceived, for example. And that way you can go and edit all these to be in your language and to add stuff that is important for your individual stories and make this really your own, which is a great way to customize Sudowrite really to your own needs. But let's save this for now. Oh, and if you change something from the defaults, you can always go and reset this so that it returns to the original version of the card. But I'll save it as I wanted. And similar to your, to the characters, there's also this world building section that you can also customize to your needs with the customized traits for essentially everything you can think of. From like organization settings, key events, government. You can really make this in a way that works best for the story you're working with. And you can always create custom categories for your world building as well.
I'd like to show something here for the world building, if you allow me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because
go ahead.
One thing is when we start with something we never wrote before, we just got in Sudowrite, we says, okay, I like to write a story about a man, a woman, they meet on a desert island, something like that. And you go with the AI or Sudowrite, and you write that story, you interact with the AI, you build that story. And then when you get to the world building, it's not easy to just go with what they give us on the screen. So there is something I like to show you quickly, and you can do it in your language, no problem. But if you have ChatGPT, or you can also use the chat on the side, I'm going to share my screen, Dalia.
Yes, go ahead.
We'll go with this one. Okay, so what I did is I will take the story that we wrote earlier in English. When I go inside ChatGPT, I would insert the story in. And what I would do at this point, I would ask Chat, please give me all the world building I need to write the bestseller story from the above. And we call that the synopsis for now. Please give me all the word building, and here I can even go for Sudowrite. So please give me all the word building for Sudowrite I need to write. Let's see what it's going to give me. So the word building.
I love how enthusiastic it's always.
It's giving me rules. So there's a lot of rules in that world. We have the library. We have a guardian, so they give us more information on the guardian character. So there's a Bible right there. And you can go back and forth and say, I just want the world building, I just want the location, I just want this, I just want that. So we have a world card, a magic card, a character card, location card. So it's giving us all the card we have. So basically here, what you do, and you can do that in your language. I'm just making English so we all understand what I'm doing. you copy the code, or what I do, I just go here and I copy the card itself. Like this. What I do, I go inside Sudowrite. I go in the world building. Go in that 3 dots, and I go import. And I pass the information right here. And I just say import. And I leave it go to work. So now we have the library, the threshold, whispering L. So the location inside the library are here. I don't think we need the smell, the sound, and the light, but we can leave it there if you want. It's really, that's where you can go and delete a few things or leave it there. And then you click go. It's going to go the information inside your story that's above. And here we have quite a bit of information, so it's going to go in.
I think that it took each of the sections from that library and broke them out individually because there were a lot of carriage returns, line breaks in there.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't want all of that in
Just
separate settings.
Yeah, just put in mind that if I had delete all those and just keep the English version, it would have given me different or things like that. But it took all the information from above, which is all based on the same character and the same story, just in different language. But just to show you that if you do that inside your language and ask what's important to write that story, it's going to give it to you, and you can import it instead of having to go one after the other and says, okay, is there something missing? Is there something missing? Just ask chat, is there anything missing in the world building? And ask chat to name what's missing. And then you bring it inside your world building. And I guarantee you one thing, when we do that, the story coming out of this, beautiful. When the world building is well done, the story will really, you're going to enjoy it. So,
yeah, that's very true.
So any language, you can do the same thing that I just did. And you can do it over here too in the chat GPT, because chat will go get the information on this side and it's going to build you your world building in the language you want to. So for me, it's because I'm used to go with chat GPT here instead of this one. So it's any of the way you want to do it, you can do it. So if there's any questions.
Yeah, something that's, just something I'd like to add about the world building import is that you can also do this with stories. For example, I'm more of a pantser, so I don't start out with having any world building. It just grows into the story while I'm writing. But by importing the chapters that I've already written, I can just pull out the world building that's existing on the page. That's also a great way to work with the world building import. And you can also do the same with characters, because the character import can also just read a story and pull out the information.
So I asked the same question here inside the chat. You give me 2 cards? No, 1 card. So you can copy this and bring it inside the same way of Sudowrite and just get these in. So this is always shorter information on this side than if you go to this side here where you have the whole world building, and we have 8 cards in the world building here, or 7 cards, 7, and even he gave us a series potential for the story. So it's very interesting to play between the two and bring the information in and build your book inside Sudowrite.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that's my screen, yes. And since we were just talking about chat, as you can see, there's a higher quality and a free standard version. And when I want to do some more complex stuff, like world building, or if I already have a lot of information in there, I sometimes prefer using the higher quality version, since that one is better at dealing with a lot of information and still giving you nuanced answers. But for most stuff, you can just use the standard version, which is absolutely free. And if you're not happy with whatever you're getting, you can always ask again, since it's not costing you anything. So that is also, chat is a really great feature just for every step in your process. I like to use it for brainstorming or whenever I'm stuck on something, just to ask it about story. Since something that's also great is that you can like pull in information about characters when you use this little add item. Or also, word building should also work. Yeah, you can also get word building, or you can ask it about the documents in your project, which is also a good way to get a feedback about your chapters and to like troubleshoot if there's anything that's not working the way you want it to work for your story. Okay. With this being said, I mean, I think we covered most of the story Bible. The last part that's still in here is your outline, which is also, yeah, since I already have one generated, you can't see the generate button, but I'm just gonna delete it for a moment. Something that's great is that you can pick from different outline types and even give it some instructions yourself if you have an outline type that you always work with that's not on this list. And that way you can really individualize your process and the way that Sudowrite is working with you. But I'll just get our outline back. I hope this had worked. Oh, this is the outline. And this history section is also a lifesaver if you delete something accidentally or on purpose and regret it, you can always get the last version of it back. Okay, and since we're almost at the top of the hour, the last thing I wanted to show you, I'll just click here, was, it's still connected. Oh, just so that you know what I'm doing. When you click on this 3 dots, you can see whether your document is linked to a chapter in the outline and whether it's connected to a previous document. And since I had just deleted the outline, I double checked if it realized by itself that this was connected to the first chapter. Like, and now I lost my train of thoughts. Where was I heading with this? Oh, I think I wanted to show a little bit of my process, since I work a bit different to a lot of the other teachers, since I work a lot with the write button and also a bit more like I use Sudowrite more like a writing assistant instead of letting it write the story for me. Since I'm more of a pantser, as I said before, so I haven't everything planned out. So using write, which essentially looks at the text that's already there or at your story Bible information and then writes a story based on this or your prompt, works better than having to come up with a summary for a whole chapter in advance. And something that's nice about write is that you can put information here in the key details, like some instructions about how the story is supposed to play out or how you want the style to work. And you can also give it prompts here with the guided write section. And here in the write settings, you have a little bit more control of how creative your output is supposed to be, while creativity in this context means how close the output is to like genre expectations or the prompt you're giving it. With the least is it follows exactly very closely what you wanted to write, and most gives it a little bit more of a leeway to be surprising and giving you unexpected results. You can also decide a number of cards, a length of cards, which gives you a little bit more control of how many words Sudowrite gives you back, and the prose mode. And for prose mode, something that's important for us to look at is whether this has this little multilingual checkmark, since not all models are equally well worked out to work with languages other than English. While Muse has improved, in my opinion, it still doesn't write as well in German as it does in English, for example. So my go-to model for German is excellent, since this model is very good at following instructions, gives also really good German output. And once you've edited the output and it reads back on what you've already written, it's also very good at imitating your style. So for writing in non-English languages, this is my favorite model. I don't know, Manor, what's your favorite?
My favorite one is excellent. And if I work in an application, I like the Gemini.
Ah, Gemini. Yeah, there are a few of the Geminis that you can choose from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing's wrong. I was just going to throw my 2 cents worth in here. While I like excellent very well, I've found that the credit cost and quality of the Claude 4.5 Sonnet very, very closely matches that, because I know that at some point 3.7 is going to go away for us. So it's nice to know that the 4.5 Sonnet version gives a very similar output at a very similar credit cost.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Since AI is ever evolving, sometimes models are not to stay forever, which is also a reason why we have a few retired models. And of those retired models, some have already vanished in the recent months as well. Okay. So I think I covered everything important I wanted to say for this session. Are there any questions about the essentials that I've shown you?
I'm not seeing any other questions open in chat.
In the world building, just as an add-on, the one that I showed you earlier on how to do the import, if you do the import the same way, once you get inside the world building, and if you go in the notes of the Word document under class result, at the bottom, you'll see I put the image of each step. You get to write inside the import box, write all content in German or the language you are working in, import what the cards are, and you can see image by image the result of what happened, and then it's giving you everything in the language you're looking for. You just need to write all content in the language and write everything in the language you want underneath, just as an add-on for the importing the world building cards. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, if there are no further questions, then all that's left for me to say is thank you to all of you for your curiosity and engagement. And thank you a lot for Jeff for stepping in as a co-host for us today.
Yes. And if you have beautiful feedback, you're going to receive it at the top of the hour. You should already have it inside your mail or your mailbox or your courier, whatever it is in your language. And that was something that was asked from Sudowrite that we mentioned. They really like feedback. They want to know if you learn anything, what you're looking for the future, and if we did a good job. They really like to see those 5 stars.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you should see when we have a 4-star or a 3-star, our face just goes sad. But not just us. I don't know that even at Sudowrite, when they look at it, they react to it too. They says, why everybody give 5 stars and this person get a 4-star but no comments?
Yeah, that makes our poor Michael always very sad.
He does. He does. Because he knows we work hard on our classes. So
yeah.
So on that, I say thank you. I'm Manon Doucette, the teacher. How you call me again? The mad scientist?
Yeah, the mad scientist.
And
she's not wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a compliment. I know that.
It is very much
definitely.
So if there's any question before we close down, or if you want to wait until we finish the recording, I can stop the recording right now. So thank you again for being with us. Dalia?
Yeah, thank you. Happy writing.
I had a story in my heart, but I didn't know where to start. Every sentence felt wrong, every draft fell apart. Sat staring at the page like it owed me something, but the words stayed quiet and the fear kept thumping. Then I heard a voice inside me say, "You're overthinking, just put something on the page. Write it messy, write it wild, write it like you were a fearless child. Don't wait for perfect, don't delay. If you got something to say, write it anyway. Oh, 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 let it out, let it out, let it write it anyway. Oh, 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 let it out, let it out, let it write it anyway." Some days the magic shows up like lightning. Other days every paragraph feels frightening. Oh, but every page, even the ones that are wrong, are stepping stones to the book where you finally belong. So don't stop now, don't throw it away. You can edit tomorrow, but today, write it messy, write it wild, write it like you were a fearless child. Don't wait for perfect, don't delay. If you got something to say, write it anyway. Oh, 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 write it up, write it up, write it anyway. Oh, oh, write it up, write it up, write it anyway. First draft, chaos. Second draft, clarity. Third draft, confidence. Final dance, magic. Magical, write it messy, write it bold. Write the story only you can hold. Dream it, draft it, shape the clay. But whatever you do, write it anyway. Oh.